And instead of being accountable and putting in more work to learn, they're putting their head in the sand and saying, fuck AI, I don't care about TikTok, I don't need this, I've got this figured out. Good news, for me, I respect that. You have to live your life. If you decide to lose 20 to 50% of your business's revenue or your growth, that's on you. You're not my brother. You're not my mother. I actually don't give a shit if you listen to any of my advice. On the flip side, the last 20 years of my career has been very, very, very enjoyable. I know that in 2 years, I will be on a flight to Dubai. I'll catch up on all my work, and 5 of you in this audience will email me and say, I was at your talk in August of 23 in Brazil, and I was strictly doing affiliate, lower funnel, and you convinced me to get serious about building brand and social and focusing on what's going on in AI, and I just want to thank you because you were right. I was slowly declining a little bit, or I was flat in 22 and 23, and since there, my business has doubled. That is an email that I am lucky enough to get almost daily over the last 10 years. That is my intent to be here, and that is what I wish on all of you. How many people here have more than 3 employees? Raise your hand. More than 3. Raise your hands. Okay, I'll go there then. I'm gonna talk on this for a few minutes given how many people raised their hands. Accountability. When you have employees, the number one thing that I focus on and I think about for the people in here that want to grow is the inability to understand the biggest truth of when you own a business, which is if you have employees, you work for them, they don't work for you. This is a big deal. Most people, it's just natural. It's the way we think. I know how the world works. Most people think, I'm paying you, fucking do shit for me. Makes sense. And it's not wrong. It's actually very logical, and I understand. I also have a belief in that to some degree. However, back to my purpose with this talk today, to everyone here, if you have the emotional strength to understand it's the reverse, I promise you, you've started down the path of actually growing your business. Growing up in my father's business, I saw how my dad thought about his relationship with his employees. The first time I went to the store to work, he told me to keep an eye on them because he thought some of them were trying to steal. It was an old school mentality that he learned growing up in Russia, where I was born. Today, a lot of us business owners are worried about the reverse. We're worried about our employees being too entitled, not wanting to do stuff, wanting to get paid to do little. I understand. COVID created new variables. There are people that don't even want to go into an office. Literally asking someone to go to an office 5 days a week now seems like you're crazy. The world changes, I get that. But following and finding your balance on being a leader to your people will get so much more value out of them, you would be shocked. VaynerMedia is now 2,000 people globally, VaynerX, because we have 6 or 7 companies. Every time I hire someone new that's senior and they come into the company, they are shocked by how long a lot of the employees have been in the company. The company's only 14 years old. We have dozens and dozens and dozens of people that have been there for 9, 10, 11 years. For people here in marketing, they know advertising agencies, people last 2 years, maybe 3. The reason is because I live what I believe in, but there's a business reason. Not only does it feel well, doesn't it feel good to do right by your people, it's good for your business. When people stay at a company for a long time, they have institutional knowledge. Sports. I know this country loves its sports. Sports. Do you know what one of the biggest variables in sports besides having competition in your soul is? Speed. Speed matters. Speed matters in sports, and speed matters in business so much. You know how many people here that have 3 or 4 or more employees, the number one hidden problem they have is they're in too many meetings? The number one poison for their company is meetings are too long and there's too many of them. When you have people that stay with you a long time, meetings can be 15 minutes instead of 1 hour because everyone's talking the same fucking language. I have meetings with people on the way to the bathroom and not even talking to them. When you work with somebody for 10 years, I could leave my desk, go to the bathroom, look them in the face, head nod, and we both know exactly what the fuck we need to do next. That is how you scale. That is how you build a bigger business. I implore everyone here, implore everybody here to get dramatically more serious of building a positive culture in this business. Now, that doesn't mean coddle your people. I'm not saying for you to create entitlement and let everyone be lazy. I'm saying be a human being and care about your employees, talk to them, understand, because when you have employees care about different things. I have employees who want more money. Makes sense? I have employees who don't necessarily want more money, they want more vacation time because they just had a child. Makes sense. I have some employees who, in my mind, are a little bit insecure, and so for them, it's not the money, it's not the vacation time, they just want a more senior title on their LinkedIn and their resume. As a boss, as a leader, it is not your job to judge what your employees want. It's your job to understand what your employees want and try to make it happen. Brazil, understood? Good. Attention. Attention can be very overpriced and it can be very underpriced, and there is no general rule. How many people here for their company have done marketing with influencers or creators? You've paid an influencer or creator to bring awareness to your business. Raise your hands. Raise them. High, please. Okay. For the 100 or so that have raised their hands, influencers. In general, remarkably possible for it to be underpriced. You can pay an influencer a couple $100, a couple $1,000, $10,000, and get enormous return on your investment. On the flip side, how many people here have paid influencers and it was a shit show, did not do anything? Raise your hands. How many people here have done things with influencers and it was a very good thing and was good for your business? Raise your hands. Almost everyone who raised their hand for the first thing raised their hand for the second thing. This is why I want to talk about attention per behavior in the world we live in today. Many of you may ask, is influencer marketing good? The answer is maybe. It can be good, it can be bad. That is actually the same for everything. If you think about it, a football, is that good for your business? For Messi, it was very good. For Ronaldo, it was very good. They made billions of dollars. The ROI of a football for those human beings was a lot. For me, I played 2 weekends ago and I hurt my hamstring. That was negative ROI. That is the same for everything we're gonna talk about to close this out. The following platforms in Brazil have huge opportunities for business growth, but you may do well with it or you may not do well with it. It is based on your skill on how you pick the influencers, what you're looking for the influencers to do, the direction you've given the influencers to do what you want to do, and the same is true for the content you make on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Pinterest. Every one of the top 10 platforms in the world are an incredible opportunity for many people here. The problem is, if you think back to the other things you've done, email marketing, affiliate, Google AdWords, it didn't do well at first either, potentially, because you didn't know what you were doing. The key here is to leave this conference understanding that you have to put in the work to actually be good at the craft. Let me give you some things to think about tactically to be good at the craft. How many people here post every day on social media? Raise your hands. Every day on social media, raise your hands. Higher, please. How many people here do not post on social media at all? Raise your hands. John. Paolo, get up here. You get up here. Get up here. Let's clap it up for this pioneer. This is a very amazing man. In 2023, he does not post in social media at all. We must clap for him. Louder.
Very fine.
You could speak in Portuguese. Tell them in Portuguese why you do not post.
Eu tenho uma imensa preguiça. I'm very lazy.
Lazy. Is that true?
Yeah.
You believe that?
I don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck.
No.
To me, anyone who has hit the highest level of happiness, to me, the highest level of happiness is I don't give a fuck. As much as I want to tell him what's good about this and what's good about that, this wonderful bearded man has achieved the highest level of humanity. We must give him a standing ovation. He doesn't give a fuck. Stand up and clap up. I almost feel like my talk should be done now. For the rest of you who have not achieved the final stage of humanity and still give some fucks, I'm really, really passionate about a couple things. One is self-awareness. I didn't know where that gentleman was going to go with his answer. He went to my favorite place. But one of the things I recognize today is when I sit here and say to all of you, regardless of what you do, B2B SaaS, small company, big company, creator, entrepreneur, real estate, selling courses, I don't know what you do. What I do know is that it's inconceivable, whether LinkedIn or YouTube Shorts, Facebook or Instagram, that those platforms that are free are not the best use of your time to get good at and put a lot of effort towards, including hiring people and spending money on it. Because it's free to distribute it, it's not free to make it unless you do it yourself, and your time is not free, right? As I sit here and not knowing what that gentleman was gonna say, I do think there's a starting point to the journey that I wanna push all of you to make more of, which is self-awareness. Not everybody in this hall, in this conference, should be making videos on the internet. They're not good at it, and that's okay. You can practice and get better, but maybe it's just not for you, and that's okay. I think the biggest problem today is that most people feel to be good at social media, you have to be on camera, and that is crazy. You have a business. When you have a business, you do not have to be on camera. It's a good thing to be on camera. If you like it or you're good at it, you should be on camera. But if you are not good at it, and you do not like it, and you genuinely understand yourself, I know no matter how much I practice singing, I will only be so good. I will be better in a year if I practice singing every day than I would sing tonight, but I'll still be at a very low level. I can never be Beyonce. I can practice football like I did 2 Sundays ago, but I promise you, there is no World Cup in my future. Other things I was able to maximize. All that practice as a child, selling lemonades and baseball cards and wine, led me to being a very successful entrepreneur. That is true for everyone here. You need to figure out if you are not doing this because you don't want to and you're not good at it, or because of the thing that scares me the most in this room today. That the reason most of you aren't doing what I'm talking about, even though you didn't need me here to fly 12 hours to tell you to do it, is because you're scared of other people's opinions when they leave comments on what you post. The biggest thing I fear is that you are not living your happiest life or your most successful business because you are worried about the opinion of someone who is anonymous on the internet. I'm just gonna give you one tidbit on this. If a human being lives a life where they spend their time going around social networks, finding your content, and leaving something nasty about you, that you are not good looking, that you are stupid, that you don't know what you're talking about, do not feel bad for yourself. Feel bad for them. Do you know how sad of a life it is to take your time to seek out people on the internet that you don't know and leave nasty comments to make them feel bad? That person is in a very bad place. When I say feel bad for them, I don't mean say fuck you and be mad at them. I'm saying have compassion and sympathy for them, that they are in a bad place in their lives, that they are spending their valuable time to try to hurt your feelings, someone they probably don't even know. If we can get the world to have more compassion for the people that are nasty, the world can be in a much better place. And more importantly, thank you. And more importantly, that's a big goal. You'll be happier if you can find compassion and empathy for people that are dragging you down. Do not let your self-esteem be wrapped up in the fact that you only got 25 views on a video. I only got 25 views on my first video too, and my second, and my fourth, and my ninth. Nobody was watching my fucking shit. But I knew that the video on the internet thing in 2006 was gonna happen, and I put in the work. All the best stuff is happening when you're putting in the work, not the results. So please be self-aware of who you are. Are you insecure? Or are you self-aware and realize video's not your format, but maybe the written word is? You put a picture. Let me give you a good example. The number one mistake that almost everyone here is making on Instagram is they're mailing it in when they do the copy on their post. They're not writing enough or thoughtfully enough on the caption on their post. They do the video and the picture, they think that's what it is, and on the written word, they just say, say something funny, something clever, 3 words and they're done, post. If everybody here started writing 3 or 4 sentences in detail that brought value to the video that they're posting, they would see enormous growth from their baseline overnight. Maybe for you, you're not good on video, but you can take a picture of your product or your service or your industry and then write 3 paragraphs on your Instagram post, and that's how you grow. There's 100 different ways to win this game. The only way to guarantee that you don't win is by doing nothing about it. There is not enough content being made in enough platforms from this group here. I'll give you an example of another thing that some of the more advanced people here are not thinking about. I would argue that 10 to 15% of my content that I make for information, but why I'm really making it is I'm basically asking the audience a question and I'm reading all the comments to get the insights. That I'm getting the consumer insights and the pulse of the world through putting out content just for the reactions and the comments and the answers. The more people here get curious and focused and strategic about the content they make, the more the upside will be. My friends, we are living in the greatest era of marketing and business ever. The opportunities are bigger than ever. More of us can get more of a piece of the pie than ever. We have the biggest platforms in the world of attention costing free. This is insane. Not only that, if you have to do a regular job while you chase your dream, when I was growing up, there was no internet. And so you worked your job 9 to 7, and when you went home, you couldn't build your dream. Every person here can work their 9 to 5 and then build their dream on the internet at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are walking around Earth, everybody, Brazil, the US, Europe, we are walking around and spending all of our time talking about what's not working, complaining about what's not working, deciding who's in control and we're not. And yet, all of us here, as we sit here today, are living in the best that the world has ever been. Health-wise, money-wise, opportunity-wise, the best. You don't believe that because you read and consume content on social media and mainstream media that tells you it's not. But take a step back and pay very close attention. I promise you, you have way more opportunity than your grandmother and grandfather had. Promise. And the most interesting part for me on that is we're not taking advantage of it. So as I wrap up the actual perspective, it is time for every person in this seat right now to become accountable. There's nobody stopping you. You may think there is, but it's not true. There's not a single person on earth stopping you. You are capable, and you have, how many people here have a cell phone? Raise your hands. Who here does not have a cell phone? Can you put the lights on? Does anybody not have a cell phone? No bullshit, don't be funny. Do you really actually, okay, you were being funny. Thank you. Not one person here does not have a cell phone. Fair enough, but she's not here. This is the remote control of the universe. Every single thing that you are sitting here on the ground or in a seat hoping and dreaming could happen, can happen because of this. The only thing that's stopping you is your mental perspective or your lack of knowledge on how to do it. Please, no matter what you do, please get serious about LinkedIn, YouTube, YouTube Shorts, Twitter X. Snap, Instagram, TikTok, please get serious. The attention of the entire world is on these 8 or 9 platforms at scale. It costs zero money to post on it. This is an opportunity that has never existed in the history of mankind, and we are all sitting here on our hands not doing enough. The fact that not every person in this room raised their hand when I said, do you post on social media every day? Speaks to, and don't forget, we're not here for a conference talking about movies. This is not a conference talking about sneakers. We're not here talking about the environment. This is a fucking business conference. This is a fucking business conference, and you're fucking sitting here and not posting on social every day? Fuck you. You don't have to because you don't give a fuck. Mazel tov, I'm happy. But if you are not posting on social because your business is good enough and you're happy, please be careful. I've seen this movie over and over, and now I have gray hairs. And kids, you know what happens with gray hairs? Experience. And you know what comes with experience? You've seen this movie before. I was at conferences like this 15 years ago when everyone was like, I'm good. I have email marketing. I don't need search. I was at conferences when people said, I'm good with search. I'm perfect. I got search. I don't need YouTube. YouTube's a fad. Twitter's a fad. Facebook's a fad. TikTok's a fad. I remember, for some of you that are older, remember this thing? How many people here had a BlackBerry before this phone? Raise your hands. Raise it high. Kids, keep it high. One more time, keep it up. Kids, do you know how many of these people that raised their hands said they would never get an iPhone because they needed the buttons on the fucking BlackBerry? Humans are very good at saying no. No, I don't want to know AI, it's bad. No, I don't care about TikTok, it's for kids. Brazil, as I leave this stage, I ask you for one thing. If you sit in this audience and you say no a lot, promise me one thing. Change that no to maybe, maybe, maybe. Spend 5 hours actually downloading and researching and trying. Taste it, taste it. You do that, you'll find yourself in a much bigger place than you started. Thank you. actually downloading and researching and trying. Taste it. No AI, it's bad. No, I don't care about TikTok, it's for kids. Brazil, as I leave this stage, I ask you for one thing. If you sit in this audience and you say no a lot, promise me one thing. Change that no to maybe, maybe, maybe. Spend 5 hours actually downloading and researching and trying. Taste it. Taste it. You do that, you'll find yourself in a much bigger place than you started. Thank you.
And this is Mr. Prank.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Today is fucking leg day. Driving down to more of a hardcore gym before I move back to school. Should get a pretty fucking crazy lift. So yeah, this is pretty much episode 1 of The Bulk.
If I told you 1 year ago that this man is a YouTube genius, you probably would have laughed in my face. Back then, Sam Sulek was filming crappy gym TikToks on a smartphone. A few thousand views. But today, the 21-year-old from Ohio has gone from 0 to over 2.5 million subscribers in just over 10 months. To put that into perspective, Sam grew his channel 5 times faster than Mr. Beast. And what makes Sam's growth even more impressive is his videos are all extremely long and they have so little editing it makes JV want to cry into his pillow. So what algorithm hackery is going on here? Well, I've spent an ungodly amount of time analyzing Sam's rise along with the rise of more channels posting long, practically unedited videos, and I've uncovered 3 big factors I think have led to their success. But why did I pick Sam to be the focus of this video? Well, he currently sits at 2.5 million subscribers, and according to vidIQ, is growing at a rate of 460,000 subscribers a month. As of recording this, he's generated 105 million views, and I actually have the analytics of a channel in the fitness niche, so I know that this number of views would be generating Sam about $42,000 a month. And that's not even taking into account the massive amount he's probably making from his affiliate deals. But the question is, how is Sam and all these other seemingly low effort channels pulling in such a crazy amount of views? Well, that brings us to our first factor. In recent years, visiting the YouTube homepage feels a bit like visiting a used car yard. Only instead of having to deal with loud, manipulative salespeople trying to sell you a Corolla that looks like this, you're dealing with loud, manipulative YouTubers trying to sell you on watching their videos all the way to the end. And they do that with screaming, explosions, overlays, text, 200 cuts per minute, and a gazillion other YouTube retention hacks all rolled up into one big dopamine burrito of stimulation. And even though this dopamine heavy style of content still gets a lot of views and is very impressive, some viewers like me find this content kind of soulless, over the top, and exhausting to watch. So when you come across a creator like Sam, who's at the complete opposite end of this Mr. Beastification spectrum, it's like a breath of fresh air. Because Sam's ditched this dopamine burrito for, well, just being a super genuine, real dude. In other words, he's truly authentic. His videos are hardly edited, and to call his titles and thumbnails primitive is an insult to primitive people. But when watching one of his videos, it feels like you're just hanging out with a friend or a cool mentor. And more channels are adopting this more authentic, low effort style of content as it's becoming popular with viewers like me. And when YouTube detects that something's becoming more popular with viewers, the algorithm starts plugging that content to tens of millions of people. And even creators like Mr. Beast, who started this whole trend of overstimulating content, have noticed this shift in the market. For example, in one of his most recent videos, he actually breaks down in tiers multiple times, something that would have been unheard of 6 or 12 months ago in a Mr. Beast video. So am I saying that the new YouTube meta is to just be authentic, edit videos lazily, and bam, millions of views? Well, right now I'm sensing a shift in the YouTube community where we're beginning to pedestalize authenticity in an authenticity equals views in 2024 kind of way. But my controversial opinion, based on my analysis, is this is an incredibly surface level and naive analysis of what's actually going on. And that's because of the second big factor I discovered when analyzing Sam and these other more authenticity based channels. And let me prove it to you. Let's imagine an alternate universe where Sam Sulek also exists is exactly as authentic as he is in this universe, creates the exact same content, exact same length, exact same editing style. The only difference is, in this alternate universe, Sam doesn't take steroids. So instead of looking like this, he looks more like this. Not to say there's anything wrong with looking like this, I would be very happy to look like this. But the question is, in this alternate universe where Sam's authenticity is exactly the same as it is in this one, would he get anywhere near the amount of attention his current channel has? Here's another question. The first time you see a Sam Sulek thumbnail, do you think, wow, that man is so damn authentic? Or do you think, god freaking damn, I didn't know the Hulk had a child? Even someone like me who's just not that interested, clearly, in bodybuilding content, clicked on one of Sam's videos when I first saw it on my homepage because I just had to know who the hell is this machine of a man. Now, after I clicked on that video, sure, his personality and authenticity drew me in and kept me watching his video. But if Sam didn't look like this in the first place, I would never have clicked on his video, and so I would never have been exposed to his authenticity. And I say this with the utmost respect for Sam and his content. He's a phenomenal athlete and creator, but the YouTube education community needs to acknowledge that there's a lot more behind Sam's success than just, oh, he's authentic. But not all of these authenticity channels are run by creators who are absolutely ripped. So what is the secret sauce they're all using? Well, I think I've narrowed it down to two big factors. Firstly, if you want to grow quickly by going down this authenticity route, you also need to have objectively interesting video ideas or X factors that are appealing to a large niche of people. And you usually need to be able to give those people a taste of what that X factor or idea is through your title and thumbnail. Now, Sam's video ideas in and of themselves aren't that interesting, but he has a massive X factor that is his body, and that's enough to make his video objectively interesting enough to want to click on it. But the lesson to learn here is not that you need to look like Sam, it's that your content needs to revolve around something objectively interesting. For example, this is Dwayne from the Dry Creek Wrangler School. Fuck, that's hard to say. He's just a dude sitting in a chair or barn for 20 plus minutes talking about life and horses. Oh, and did I mention he's gone from 0 to almost 1 million subscribers in just 2 years? Now, at face value, it might seem like Dwayne's just authenticity his way to success, but let's actually think about this for a second. A lot of young men right now are going through quarter-life existential crises. Regardless of what you think about them, the meteoric rise of male role models like Andrew Tate illustrate a huge gap in the market for strong male role models who speak directly to young men who feel worthless, lonely, and just unsure of the role they're meant to play in society. So when Dwayne, a kind, strong, substitute father-looking figure, comes along and directly addresses these issues, men flock to him. So is Clay's channel really blowing up just because of his authenticity, or is it blowing up because he's stumbled on a massive gap in the market that he perfectly fills? Let's put it another way. If Clay made videos in the exact same style he currently has with the exact same level of authenticity, but instead of giving philosophical, existential advice to men, he's documenting his winter bowl, do you think that video would get many views? Probably not, because despite his authenticity, Dwayne doesn't have the same X factors as Sam. Again, I'm not trying to make less of Dwayne successful, but it does seem that his ability to identify and confront topics that millions of young men are struggling with, aka inherently interesting video ideas, could actually be the primary reason for his success. Another great example of this is the Wizard Liz. She's gone from 0 to over 5 million subscribers in a little over a year with long, practically unedited aside from a few subtitles, talking head videos. And if you've never watched her before, she's not afraid to speak her mind or even share controversial opinions about issues affecting women. And she's funny and charismatic.
You're a simp.
And while I'm sure all of these things have played a role in her success,
Simp.
if we take a step back and analyze the niche, young girls nowadays are constantly bombarded with advertisements and social media posts that subcommunicate a ridiculously high standard of how they should be looking and acting. And unfortunately, a lot of these young women don't feel like they measure up to these standards, which makes sense because these standards are crazily unrealistic. And so their confidence is through the floor and EDs are through the roof.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
So in Liz, a super attractive, confident young woman who actually once suffered from an ED herself, she attracts a massive amount of attention. And when you boil it down, the videos of hers that have all really blown up revolve around, surprise, fighting anxiety and building confidence, aka inherently interesting topics for Liz's niche, which means viewers are much more likely to click on Liz's videos when they get exposed to them. and after they click, sure, then they get sold on Liz's magnetic personality. Obviously, these are all very oversimplified analyses, but what I think we can learn from all of these creators is while authenticity is undoubtedly a big contributing factor to their success, having objectively interesting video ideas or X factors is potentially even more important, because if you don't have that, people won't click on your videos in the first place and therefore won't have an opportunity to be exposed to your authenticity or charisma. But that brings us to the next factor that has allowed creators like Sam to get so much promotion from the algorithm. And that is Sam and all these other authenticity tubers are watch time machines. Now, watch time is the amount of time a viewer spends watching a video. So for example, if you have a 1-minute video and one viewer watches that video all the way to the end, that's going to give you 1 minute of watch time, which I've made a video about if you want to dive deeper. And Sam has cracked this watch time code by doing two things. First, he creates very long videos, which gives him the opportunity to generate an insane amount of watch time per viewer. When someone clicks on a Sam Sulek video, if they watch that video all the way to the end, that single viewer can give Sam 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or even over an hour of watch time. And when the average long form YouTube video is about 11.7 minutes long, this means Sam's videos are getting 4 to 5 times more watch time than the average video, which basically gives the algorithm a hard on. And the same goes for all these other authenticity tubers. While they're not creating videos as long as Sam, their videos are significantly longer than the average 11.7 minutes, meaning they have the opportunity to get substantially more watch time per viewer. And even creators like Mr. Beast, Dude Perfect, Ryan Trahan, compare the length of their videos a few years ago when they first started to how long their videos are now, and you'll see they're all making longer videos. And it's not a coincidence. But just making longer videos doesn't guarantee that you're going to get more promotion from the algorithm, because if someone clicks on your 45-minute video but doesn't watch it all the way to the end, you don't get any watch time, and the algorithm will hate you. And that leads us to the second reason why Sam Sulek is a watch time machine, and that is he and all these other authenticity tubers are very talented speakers. Not in a public speaking, TEDx sort of ninja way, but in a one-way conversation skills kind of way. Creators like Sam are naturally amazing storytellers, and they can generate a non-stop stream of content just off the top of their head and phrase it and structure their words in a way that makes you want to keep watching. So it doesn't matter how authentic you are, if you can't articulate yourself in an engaging way, people just aren't going to want to watch. Now, from working with my students, I have found that this skill comes more naturally to some people than others, but it is a skill nonetheless, meaning that you can acquire it with practice. Also, try to learn basic storytelling frameworks. The human mind thinks in stories, so if you can formulate and order your information and the order in which you speak things so that it fits a basic story structure, you'll find that people will be way more engaged, even if you're saying the exact same thing as you were before when it wasn't formulated as a story. And if you want to learn one of my favorite storytelling formulas for beginner YouTubers, I'll leave a video up on screen. In it, I'll walk step by step through a simple 4-step structure you can apply to your next YouTube video to make it more engaging, retain more viewers, get more watch time, which will give you more promotion from the YouTube algorithm. Check it out.
Yeah, sleep with different people.
So in that, let's say it's been like a year since you've really embraced that. How many people would you have slept with in that year?
Yeah, give us some numbers.
Probably 300.
Jesus.
In 1 year.
Would that be the average, or is it like a big lump sum in one session?
Oh, in a day, 5 in one day.
All right, guys, got a banger of an interview right now with the...
Ain't no way my man said that with a straight face.
He knew.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
He said it with a straight face though. He got a good poker face.
Doesn't matter. That means that if the joke if the joke don't land, I just said something. If it lands, I made a joke with a straight face. That's it.
It wasn't premeditated. Before the 300 people in a year, I think my body count was like 12. And I was like, I haven't had that much sexual experience. I had an OnlyFans at the time. I was like starting to be a bit more sexually open, try new things. Like it was more of like a me thing, just to like explore myself, I guess. And it's so funny that like I explored myself by letting others explore my insights.
Yeah, someone, in order to explore yourself, you have to, hire a little Jacques Cousteau to go in the depth of your...
Yeah, and it's 300 and 299 bodies to come through as well.
399 Cousteaus.
That is a lot of exploration going into your deep caverns.
A lot of submarines.
But yeah, I never expected any of this to happen, and it definitely was not planned, which is insane.
So is that 12 people total or 12 people per year prior to this? You said 12 people. Was that like 12 total? And then you went to the 300?
12 people. Yeah, 12 people total.
And then 300. Okay, so now let's get into the juicy stuff here. Because, okay, so first and foremost here, like, because I got to ask, because a lot of people are asking DM, because we have a rating system, I'm able to kind of gauge, you know, guys are able to gauge. I'm married now. I don't gauge anything, by the way. Nothing. Nothing. So happily married.
You look like you're lying. I don't know what it is you're lying about, but you sound suspicious. Whatever you said you didn't do, I now believe you do. And your wife should be made aware. Did he not sound so guilty? Yeah, you know, guys have. I would never. I'm married now, so I would never do that. But like, you know, guys.
You sound a bit sick by doing that like that, but it is what it is.
Thou doth protest a little too much.
So,
as the homie Shakespeare would say, I don't want to plagiarize.
Oh, that's homie Shakes?
That's the homie Shakes. Hey, Spears was killing it back in the day. Yeah, he was putting on them plays.
Speezy.
The homie.
Shakes Peasy.
Yeah. Shakes Peasy.
What is your rating system when you're going through, you know, picking the 300? Is it like they got to be a 7 and up? What's your rating of a 7? Have you lowered your standards to get to the 300? Because, like, again, if you have that volume, I would think quality would go down. What's your criteria here?
No, I am seriously picky. Like, I would not go below a 7. Obviously, personality is probably more important to me, but if it is just going to be a one-night stand, then I would rather go off looks, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be doing that much talking. So yeah, I would never drop below.
Because it sounds like you're picky, but out of the 300, if you really like somebody, I would assume that person would probably be with you and dating you to some degree, or you just don't want to date at all.
Yeah, I think, like, honestly, it's crazy because my criteria is very simple. I want a guy who's loyal, family orientated, kind, non-judgmental, intelligent. I think intelligence is like a really important thing for me. Someone who's like just like equal to the way that I think, and also my morals. Like, a lot of people say I don't have any morals, but I do. So someone who's like on the same page as me with that. So they're not that crazy, but it is really hard to find a loyal, honest, nice guy these days. And
maybe you're looking in the wrong places. Maybe you're looking in the wrong places.
I'm pretty open-minded. Any woman sleeping with 5 dudes in a day, I'm gonna think she got problems. Unless it's your job, which even then you probably have job problems for doing that job. I kidding. 5 niggas in one day.
You can be open-minded, as much as you want. 5 people in a day is exhausting.
I don't care how much you like it. I think most people look at that, and if that was a dude in your place, they'd be like, he's an addict.
A guy that does 5 girls a day
in one day. That's crazy.
That's a lie.
I'm hearing all this stuff, and as open-minded as I am, you need to be someone way more open-minded than me. And I feel like I lean pretty far more open-minded than most men I know.
Sure.
Because most men I know here, a girl's got a high body count and they lose it. Or they not with it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that.
I don't think I know any guy personally who would hear a girl did 300 dudes in one day, in one year, and they would be cool with 5 in one day is crazy to me.
You ask any ex-workers, and she when she's doing that, she's not charging for that. She just goes about doing her thing, right? So when you ask any ex-workers if it's a problem for them to find someone, everyone's gonna tell you, yeah, it is a problem.
Yeah,
it is gonna be difficult to find someone. It's not gonna be easy to find someone that's gonna be able to be like, yeah, no, that's cool.
But yeah, I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to find someone. I'm not just out here to, you know, fuck people over or anything like that. Like, I do want to settle down and I want to have a family.
No, see, okay.
What's wrong?
People say, I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do this. You can't be settling down when you fucking 5 dudes in one day.
You can.
No, you can't. You ain't got time. You ain't got time to get to know anybody. You ain't got time to really invest yourself in somebody. You're too busy entertaining everything else. Even trying to date multiple people seriously is incredibly difficult. It's time consuming. Managing a real job, managing your own business, and trying to fuck somebody new every day, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. So people say here talking about, oh my God, I'm ready to settle down and be serious and be family oriented. You just went from the most hedonistic lifestyle and you think you just gonna turn it off like a switch. I say this thing to dudes all the time. Dudes who think like, I'm gonna keep fucking around and doing everything I want and I'm gonna just meet someone the next day and it's all gonna work out. That's not how it works. You can't just undo a lot of the habits that you built, the kind of dopamine rush that you've built into your brain of discovering somebody new and think you could automatically switch and be ready for that lifestyle of like extreme discipline. It's not the way the human body works. You've literally built like neural pathways whenever you're messaging somebody new and you're getting into that and you're getting that first You're building that repetition in your brain. You think you don't turn that off and you're not gonna be staring at other people, you won't be extremely tempted to do other things, that you're not gonna have those instant messages from all the women that are already still ready to fuck you because you've lined them all up. You're not building yourself to be a prospect to somebody who's ready to do that stuff. It's like somebody who wants to be like, all right, I'm ready to go sober. Let me down 3 more bottles of Henny before I finish up. That's not the way you get off an addiction. You don't get off an addiction by just instantly going cold turkey. For most people, that leads to really bad relapse. For a vast majority of people, and they start going at it again and again and again and
Even
again.
worse than when they were there.
In fact, the odds of failing are far more likely than not.
And what are you gonna do while you wait?
Sausage fest.
The same thing. It's so you're still gonna be there. So now I understand. I 100% understand what you're saying when you're saying that you're not setting yourself up.
Dicks going down her alley. Okay, they just gonna be flying, bro. Just anything you can find. Just I'm waiting, baby. Hey, where's my husband at? Where's he at? Oh my God, I'm so patient. Woo, there's another dick. Hey, yo. Yo, you know that women just beat
Stop flinging dicks. Stop.
Sorry. Let me stop being childish.
But I understand what you're saying. But while you wait, are you gonna? Yeah.
Could you imagine if
No.
I'm looking at a girl and I'm thinking of approaching her, and all of a sudden I see dicks flying by our head? I'm like, yeah, no. Yeah. Like I'm rolling up to a bitch's place and some dude just popping out like, oh, enjoy your turn. I don't know. That's a little bit too much for me.
2 tap on the shoulder. Your turn, buddy.
Imagine if there's like wrestling ropes and the motherfucker comes out, tag team.
Let's go. And I just go.
Tag me in, brother. Tag me in.
But yeah, the right person hasn't come along yet, so I'm just going to keep waiting. I definitely wasn't doing it for virality. It wasn't for anyone else but for me. I just wanted to experience lots of different people. Like I said, I'd been like pretty, I don't know, like non-sexual beforehand. So I just wanted to, I'm young, I want to experience life. You know, I'm turning 27 this year. I feel like while I'm young, I should go out and have fun. And
I don't think there's anything wrong with what she's saying. You want to experience, do a little experience, that's fine. You want to dabble in some drugs, great. Don't start doing meth. Don't be like, oh, I want to try new things, heroin. No.
That's not
honey.
That's not a new thing?
There's some things you don't come back. I want to try new things, murder. No. 300 bodies, that's meth. That's meth for your dating life. You look like you got holes and sores all over your body. They're not there, but they're in everyone's brains when they think of you as a wife.
I see the analogy.
My girl's doing meth for dating. So I just want to say, it's okay to try new things. A little moderation doesn't hurt either.
I think I want to take this time to like really explore lots of different people before, I am ready to settle down and get married and with the same person for the rest of my life. So it was just like, for me, I don't know. I just, every day I would wake up and I'd be like, okay, well, who am I going to go on a date with today?
There's a lot of people that whenever they get with in the dating apps and stuff like that, one thing that you see often is people they want to meet someone that has no baggage or all their baggage is dealt with. Your baggage is public. Yeah, but your baggage is public. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Though. I'm talking about the fact that your baggage not being your pum pum, but what you have behind you.
Mm-hmm.
But now it comes with publicity. It's public.
Yes.
It comes with publicly broadcasted luggage, and that's people gonna look at it like,
Okay, so what is the goal next year? So 300, are we going for 400? Are we going to start bringing it down and start to kind of hone in on finding the right guy?
I think now it's changed a little bit. I have what I call my regulars, which are like, it's like 8 to 9 people that I sort of will rotate with, I guess. It sounds so bad, but they know about what I do and who I am. So they've agreed to it. And yeah, it's just like, if I'm chilling in bed, I'll message one of them, they'll come over, and maybe the next day I'll have another one over.
And I'm glad that we talked. I just had so many questions based on the situation. I do love the fact that you went viral. Would I have liked it if you went viral for something else from a personal standpoint? Yes. But I genuinely wish you the best, honestly. And I appreciate you coming on and answering the questions openly and honestly. And it means a lot. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Annie. And go follow her, Annie, KNIGHT. So yeah, things are opening up, and maybe, we'll see you in a movie or something like that down the road.
Like a
My man said we'll see you in the movie.
No, my man said I hope things open up. They already opened.
But he said we'll see. She got films up on the hub, I'm sure. You can check her OnlyFans.
All right.
My thoughts on this: it is a sickness of the highest order. I don't approve. This woman has been lost.
I think that I don't care about what you do when you do it. Though you have to understand what ramification it does to you, your psyche, and your health. It's just that. It as long as you understand that, do you. I don't have to approve or disapprove shit. I ain't so bad. But you have to, and you should do you. But, you know, to anything that you do, there are consequences.
Okay. All right, well, that's it for today's video.
So yesterday I saw this, the downfall of r/anti-work.
Those who don't learn from the past are due to repeat it, and history isn't a constantly changing thing, but a series.
We're back.
Welcome back to another journey through career exploration.
We gotta start. This energy is terrible.
Oh.
What are we doing? Bring it up, my
Dream
God.
Jobs, episode 1, season 3.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Season 3. Dream Job. Season 3. Dream Job. Season 3. Dream Job. Season 3. Dream Job. Say season 3. Dream Job.
Season 3 of what?
Just say it. Dream Job.
Season 3. Today we're gonna take us through a journey in alchemy. Maybe meet
alchemy.
a scientist, or we're gonna make potions, and
Alcohol me.
Well, you guys know that I always like to bring a professional, so I brought in a special guest who's gonna help us. He's a wizard.
Wizard, show yourself.
Freeze.
Freeze. Okay, and Joel.
Joel, you wanna come out here?
We'll fix this.
Oh my God. What's up, losers?
Oh my God.
Holy shit. Coming in hot, too.
Our special wizard friend. What was your name, wizard?
My name is Josephus Modolphus.
Josephus Modolphus.
Welcome to Wizarding World of Me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I never read any of the books.
So Josephus Modolphus, you gonna help us learn some potions?
The science of alchemy is traditionally known as turning base metals into higher metals. A lead into a gold.
Sure.
A boron into a xenon.
I love that. Yeah, I could use more Xenon.
Warrior Princess.
And Girl of the 21st Century.
And Girl of the 21st Century.
It's Disney original.
Yeah, Disney.
That's
before your time.
after my time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a time alchemist,
Right.
but I took Time Alchemy 101.
Okay, what school did you, where did you go to?
It was an extension program at UCSD.
Oh, UCSD, beautiful.
Yeah, but it's one of the best in the country.
I believe it.
And I'm only $100,000 in debt.
So can you tell me, because I don't see any base metals here, but I see this. What is Terraria?
A lesser game from the mid 2010s.
So you wouldn't personally have like 300 hours in it, like I would?
No. When I turn hours into game, usually that's through Civ 6. I've got over 2,000 hours there.
Okay.
I thought it was just like a couple of dozen of hours, but
Gone.
Alchemized.
Just like that. Yeah.
My dad has like 30,000 in Civ 4.
30,000?
Yeah.
What? How did he have time to raise you?
Did he raise you?
Yeah. So what is water bloom? It seems to have something to do with water.
Again, incorrect. It's when you see a flower and it's really beautiful and you say, water bloom! That is
water bloom.
Oh, okay.
You yell it at it.
I just put them both in the pot, one of each. Is that fine?
Oh, pot.
Go for
I
it.
love pot.
A big part of alchemy is just trusting your gut. You know,
I like
Look
that.
at this. I'm mixing. Kobe. Oh.
What was your name again? Joel Onculus?
Josephus Modolphus.
Josephus
Modolphus.
Modolphus. Thank you.
Of the what origin?
I think that's Dutch.
Okay, so we made our first potion. It was a health potion, so I appreciate the
grind-
advice.
Rick and Morty Season 7 has been an absolute roller coaster thus far. There have been some of the absolute high points of the entire franchise, like the Evil Morty episode. There have been some other absolute banger episodes that I feel like went back to its ways of old school math. I'm just saying, but if not, that's just casually the biggest flex in fiction.
My button! It's in my button! Fuck yeah! On the wall, motherfuckers! It's not worth it! Not worth it!
Oh my god, you both reek. What is that?
Oh, that's hole smell.
Be nice, shit our pants. You're looking at the 2 newest members of the Hole Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Bomb almost killed her. Take care of our wife.
What?
Rick? No.
Wait, is this an alternate reality? Okay, hold on. All right, dude, so many questions. I love Rick and Morty so much. Okay, all right. 2 possibilities of what's going on here. This is my over-analysis modes talking about Rick and Morty. The fact that you could see a scene like this and have 2 completely wildly different interpretations is the glorious mindfuckery that they are so good at. Either they're still in the hole, all right? That's possible. Option 2, this is gonna be some crazy lore development where there's an alternate reality where...
Pause, say something.
Okay, we're clearly still in the hole.
Exactly.
Like it then, should probably change. So this is what your Twitter bio says. I'm just a young dad that grew up in Cleveland and had a kid at 18. I started off selling do-rags and it turned into 3 6-figure brands and a 7-figure business in 3 years. So that's really where I wanted to start. And I wanted to start right at the beginning, which is, tell me about that first year.
No lies, no BS, just the truth. Let's get right into it. This journey started a couple months ago when I noticed Instagram was dying. I ain't gonna hold you, Instagram been dying for a little minute, man. It seemed like 1 minute you're supposed to hit, the next minute they won't. The algorithm is always changing. They'll shadow ban you for no reason. That's the main reason why I sold one of my Instagram pages called Recession Money. I don't know if y'all remember that. Don't show my face. I didn't just want to barely getting any views. We was at 157. Then we jumped up to 1600. But after that, after this video right here, it took off a little bit. We were starting to get consistent views every day, getting at least 1,000 views a day. Except right here, did a little dip right there. But for the most part, after that one video right here, we got at least 1,000 views a day. And then right here, that's when things really took off. So November 25th, we cracked our first 10,000 view day. So we got 13,000 views that day, then 9,000, 14, 10, 15, like it was up, you feel me? It was up. And then for the month of November, we crossed 100 views the first day, not too bad. 5,000 views the second day. How did we go from 11,000 views December 15 views, 2,900, 1,000, 1,000 while again, 4,700, 9,000, and then from there, we had the most method we used to grow this channel is we used other platforms like TikTok and Instagram. So what we noticed at first is that we wasn't getting no motion from YouTube. Like they wasn't pushing out our videos. We wasn't getting no views. So we had to find another way to get people on the channel. So we used Instagram and TikTok, especially Instagram. Y'all know I know Instagram a lot. I've been on there for years. I know how to grow a page. So what we did was we grew a brand and we started running promos to promote the video, and that definitely shot up our channel a little bit. And then TikTok as well. We used TikTok. We started creating some shorts and we posted them on TikTok, which helped the channel a little bit. Number 2, community tab posts. Now you can find this by going to your YouTube homepage and going to the community tab. You can upload an image, a video, or you can do some posts. 3, stay consistent. I brought this up when we was looking at the analytics and I showed y'all the days where we wasn't making no money and we wasn't getting no views. Like those days is tough, man. Like, especially when you go from making a lot of money and getting a lot of views to not making no money and getting no views. Like, man, I fell down to my knees when the law came. The key is to stay consistent no matter what you feeling, no matter if you getting no views, even if you getting hate, right? Cause sometimes you might post a video that the audience might not fuck with. Like they might not fuck with it and they might leave a couple comments. You gotta deal with that. You gotta learn from that. And sometimes the criticism might be valid. So just take that into account and just learn from the situation and stay consistent. No matter what, just stay consistent. And eventually things gonna go up. You saw with the channel, I wasn't getting no money. I wasn't getting no views at first. And now we actually making money. The 4th thing that I'll say that really helped the channel grow fast is that we picked a lane of our own. And we picked a lane that really had no competition, because all of the videos that we dropping so far, either 1, nobody has covered them for years, or 2, nobody covered them at all. So you don't have to pick an extremely popular niche to be successful. You can pick a niche that is really underserved and still perform well. And now I want to move on to the lies you've been told about YouTube automation, because there's so many lies out there. And if you're going to start this, I want y'all to know the facts. I want y'all to know the real information. Number 1 is that you could get videos made for under $100. That's cap. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's cap. That's cap. That's cap. You feel me? Like, you cannot get the videos made for under $100. And if you do, the quality is not going to be there. I'm telling you right now, the quality is not going to be there. Unless you use like AI or something like that. But I'm talking about just going to a freelancer and paying under $100 to do the editing, the scripting. I don't know how people be talking about they spend under $100, because y'all about to see how much money I spend on this channel in just a second. If somebody telling you that you could get the videos made for under $100, man, either you extremely lucky, and if they got talent, you extremely lucky, or they just capping, bro. Number 2 is easy to grow a YouTube channel from scratch. It's not easy at all. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's not easy at all to grow a channel from scratch. We wasn't getting no views from YouTube at first. We had to use another platform like Instagram and TikTok in order to get traffic on YouTube at first. And then once YouTube saw the traffic and everything like that, then, only then, it started getting pushed out a little bit. But at first, we wasn't getting no traffic from YouTube. So I can only imagine if somebody doesn't have another platform to drive traffic from, it'll be even tougher to grow. Number 3 is little to no work involved.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Man, there's little to no work involved. Man, I seen that a couple times. I seen that on a couple videos. Niggas is capping. It's cap, bro. Like, yeah, it's a little bit less work than actually creating the videos yourself and hopping on camera and everything like that. But it's definitely a lot of work involved with it, because you gotta still come up with all the ideas. Thinking alone takes a lot of time, right? You gotta interact with the audience. You gotta make sure that the scripts is good. You gotta make sure that the videos is good. You gotta make sure that the voiceover is good. You gotta talk to your team every day and make sure that everything running smooth. There's definitely a lot of work that goes into it. Don't be fooled thinking it's little to no work, because you definitely gonna be working. It's just in a different way. Next, I want to get into some of the lessons that I learned doing all of this, because it's truly been a learning experience. Number 1, you have to build a team. I was somebody that wanted to do everything myself. I felt like I could do everything, man. Lone wolf, just thugging by myself. I ain't need nobody. I was a one-man army. But that was the very thing that was holding me back. I'm telling you, once I built this team and this channel, it made me realize like, yo, you are really so much stronger with a team. If you have a strong team, you good. You feel me? Like, I can't even take credit for the channel. I gotta give the credit to my team. Like, we got a talented team. Like, the editor, super talented. The writer, super talented. The thumbnail, hey, my God. Hey, I don't know if you watching this, but you my guy. My guy, you know who you is, man. My thumbnail guy. This is my whole team, man. I got love for everybody on my team. They all super talented, so I can't take credit for this. Like, I really got to give the credit to my team, to be honest. They the one that's really making everything come to life for me. Like, I'm really just the thinker and the minds and the money behind it, but they making everything come to life, so I can't take the credit. It's really my team. Number 2, learn from criticism. So the reason why I put this on the list is because we had a video that was kind of, you know, controversial, I say. You know, people had a lot of different opinions about it. Some people loved it, some people hated it. Some people thought it was lies, some people thought it was the truth. Like, it was so many different opinions on it. But what we did was we learned from it. Like, we didn't take the criticism as hate, we just took it as maybe we are wrong. You know, some people might be criticizing for a valid reason. So not all criticism is hate. Some people might be actually trying to give you some constructive, really growing extremely fast. Like, y'all saw with Recession Money, I grew that page extremely fast, and then I sold it within like 5 months or so. Black Hustlers Club, this brand right here, it grew extremely fast as well. A lot of my other brands grew extremely fast, so I'm kind of used to that now. But this brand right here, it did grow fast, but this is a long-term play. Like, we plan on working on this for the next 3 to 5 years. And another thing is, I'm still not even profitable, which we're gonna get into right now, the expenses. I'm gonna break this down completely for y'all month by month. So the first month I spent $600 on the monetized YouTube channel. I didn't want to start from complete scratch. I already had a YouTube channel monetized, so I was like, why not use that one instead? I already paid for it and I wasn't putting it to use, so I decided to use that channel for this. For the channel production, I spent $3,280. This includes the voiceover artists, the editors, and the script writers. Next, I spent $500 on thumbnails, and I spent $2,075 on ads. Now, the reason I spent this much on ads is because I was using it to grow the Instagram page and the YouTube channel at the same time. So I felt like it should be included in this as well because it did play a part in helping the channel grow. So in the first month, I spent a total of $6,455, and I made $117 from YouTube ad revenue. Month number 2, I spent $2,200 on video production, $440 on thumbnails, and $1,525. Month number 3 in December, I spent $3,563 on schedule. So instead of just making videos for the next week or the next 2 weeks, we was trying to get a whole month ahead. So we made as many videos as possible. I spent $330 on thumbnails, and I spent $1,935 on ads. In total, I spent $5,858, and I made $1,493 from YouTube ads. Month number 4, January, I spent $3,198 on video production. Again, we just made as many videos as possible. $465 on thumbnails, $1,225 on ad spend. In total, I spent $4,469, and I made $4,733 from YouTube AdSense. Month number 5, February, we spent $3,589 on video production, $600 on thumbnails, and $1,175 on ads. In total, we spent $5,364, and we made $7,399. So that brings our complete total spent to $26,311, and our total ad revenue to $15,218. Now, I know you probably like, Drell, why did you spend all that money? Can you explain it a little further? Because I see all online people saying you can make videos for $100 and everything like that. Well, from my experience personally, the reason why I spent all that money on ads, one is because it was growing an Instagram page, right? So during those 5 months, the page grew 125,000 followers, and then the channel grew 50,000 followers. So it was growing the Instagram page and the YouTube channel at the same time. So that's why I kept running ads. It was really just growing both platforms at the same time. And as for the video production and the thumbnails, I really just pay my team good. Like, they are super talented and I wouldn't be here without them. Like, they are really making this channel come to life. They're the ones putting it together. So I feel like they gotta get paid good and they always come through, you feel me? So, and a lot of that came from us building up content as well. Like, we are over a month ahead with content already. So a lot of that just came from us just making extra content. So that's why the numbers are so high. And I don't know where people find these editors that charge $50 and everything like that. The quality just isn't there when I was looking for them. So I went with the best quality that I could find and I paid that price. So even though I'm in the hole right now, let me know, is this a W or an L? Let me know in the comment section below. I feel like this is a W, man, even though I'm like 10 bands.
Ryan Reynolds met Blake Lively, his future wife, on the set of Green Lantern, but they would not become a couple until years later.
It's not really a Green Lantern fact.
John!
I personally don't know anything about Green Lantern, but I will be asking so many questions because I love Ryan Reynolds. Him and Hugh Jackman have such a funny relationship.
You know what I like most about Green Lantern? He doesn't just always make a gun. He'll go like that, and then it'll create a toy train that'll go, and then the guy will slip on the toy train.
Well, I gotta see this game!
You were telling us before we started that this game is really good.
It's so good. You're gonna. Isn't
Let
that?
me play.
That's Ryan
Let
Reynolds.
me play.
Okay.
No, I couldn't.
No. You insist.
No.
Oh, it's Lantorpia.
Lantorpia?
Yeah, because it's the home of the Lantern Corps.
So in the movie, there on the Green Lantern on Lantorpia, there was a Green Lantern Corps. They were these Green Lanterns that protected the universe, right?
They're space police.
How did Ryan Reynolds become one?
He flew his plane too fast.
You're familiar with Aben Sur?
Who's that?
Aben Sur used to protect
previous protector. I mean, we say protector, but essentially it was like his jurisdiction.
So Ryan Reynolds was flying, and then that guy got caught in his jet.
Yeah, he hit him like in the Santa Claus.
It's exactly like the Santa Claus.
Wait, did Green Lantern just rip off the Santa Claus?
And so the first thing Hal Jordan does, he takes the ring and uses it to make his own powers.
And it vibrates, right?
Yeah. Also, another fun fact about the Green Lantern is that he's the only one that can see the things he imagines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's completely naked and all. He's like, oh, I'm gonna turn it into a giant gavel and smash it down. He's just wailing wildly.
But the comic is drawn from his point of view.
Exactly.
I see. So he's just like full hog right now?
I mean, there's not much to look at.
Yeah, you can't see much.
He can imagine that there's still foreskin there.
That was quick. 4 minutes and 43 seconds.
Might be a new record.
You're asking whether or not Green Lantern is circumcised or not.
I didn't know. I wasn't asking that.
He is not circumcised.
Okay.
But because it's so hideous looking, he imagines that it is.
Oh, he hides it? He creates a green little cowl?
God can't exist. Because if God existed, she wouldn't create a scenario where the dick that is more sensitive, so sex is better, looks so disgusting.
It's not for us to understand her ways.
Yeah.
So he carries a lantern like Ichabod Crane?
No, he doesn't carry a lantern.
No.
He has a lantern at home to recharges the ring.
So he takes girls home to see his lantern? Penis with foreskin.
He'd have the power to do basically anything, except that he's always devoting some energy to making it seem like he's circumcised.
Because if you were to take his pants down,
Yeah.
you would see little green rings of light pulling back the foreskin.
Yeah, holding it there perpetually. Little paper clips.
Can we see that Photoshop?
Is that Darkseid?
That's Darkseid, the enemy of Green Lantern.
In Batman.
Do you realize Ryan
Yes.
Reynolds was Green Lantern and he was also Deadpool? Did you know that?
Wow, that's crazy.
And he was also Van Wilder.
All our favorite heroes.
I want to dig deep on Elise's question of Ryan Reynolds' most problematic role.
That wasn't my question.
That was a great question, Elise. I know that Van Wilder.
That's a rough
They
one.
had a dog come inside of a donut or something.
Yeah, he had big balls.
You would know. Was that real dog cum?
The consistency looked